Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's podcast, Healing Earth, Healing Hearts, Vision, Voice, and Action of a Future Doctor. My name is Deborah Akinsulire. I am a fourth-year medical student here at Tbilisi Medical Academy. Today, we're joined by a special guest, Rishu Girish Shah. She's a sixth-year medical student who proves that medicine goes beyond the textbooks and is showing how using your voice is one of the pivotal points in becoming a great doctor. So thank you for joining today.
Thank you, Deborah, for the introduction. I'm so delighted to be here.
So you adhere to the CanMeds framework of a medical expert. Why do you think that that is an important thing, and what guiding principles have shaped your development as a student and a doctor?
So, the CanMeds framework of medical expert, of scholar, communicator, collaborator, advocate, leader, and professional, they go beyond clinical knowledge. And I'm really grateful that TMA introduced us to these CanMeds framework because they give you a holistic experience and make you a well-rounded medical student, which has been a launchpad for my growth here throughout my years in TMA.
So, Rishi, you're a pioneer in advocating for planetary health at our university. What got you started on that path, and why is it so important to talk about?
So, it started all back in 2020 during COVID time. We were having online sessions, and TM introduced us to these 6 lecture series, which was going to be held by Planetary Health Alliance. They are based in Germany. And I was like, why not start learning about something very new? Because at that time, it wasn't much spoken about. And then at the same time, our Dr. Maka Maglakilitse, she was doing a seminar on a similar topic in our university. So I attended that lecture, and basically we both got started because we both were passionate about this topic. And I'm really grateful for her because she's been my pillar of support throughout my years in TMA. And basically we wanted to give planetary health a voice at TMA.
That's amazing. So what are some of the most impactful activities or projects that you've led or been a part of under the Planetary Health banner?
So the very first one, it's very near to my heart because it was my first event which I organized in TMA, obviously with all the support of TMA staff and students. So it was basically, we needed to catch attention, and the only way we could do it was basically connect environmental health with human health. So there were presentations about how different environment affects our different human systems, cardiovascular, respiratory, nervous, and so on. And we had guests from all around the world, Kenya, Iran, India, Germany, Brazil. So overall, it was a very successful launch event of Planetary Health. Other than that, we've done Eco Club workshops, cleanup drives, vegan fest volunteering. Me and Dr. Maka, we had done presentations for Women's Leader of Planetary Health and other universities of Germany. And also, I have been very grateful to be an executive board member of this organization, Global Youth Strategy for Clean Air and Air Pollution. And also, we have collaborated with Vegan Georgia and Plant-Based Treaty and basically introduced plant-based meals in our canteen, which is, again, amazing thing which we've done. And lastly, the one which is which I'm really proud of is basically the air pollution awareness event. It was basically an event where we interacted with COPD patients, and also TMA students did like posters, so like kept it in a more creative way. So yeah.
So you mentioned that you're now on the executive board of the Global Youth Strategy on Air Pollution and Climate Health Action. So tell us more about that. Why is youth leadership in environmental health like the most critical thing, and what has the global experience taught you as a future physician?
So I think youth leadership is really important because it gives, like, they bring like a fresh and more energetic perspective to this urgency, which is global health challenges which we are facing right now. And other than that, I think that environmental advocacy is not separate from human health advocacy, and they should both go hand in hand.
So moving on to the short story that you wrote, you recently contributed a powerful short story exploring climate grief as part of the Make Your Voice Count at COP29 creative workshop. So tell me about that experience and what inspired the story.
So basically, there was this creative workshop. It was basically to keep climate narratives in a more creative way. It was held by Planetary Health Alliance Germany and University of Edgar Dr. Sally Flint. And they basically wanted to do a 12 stories for 12 days of COP29 anthology. So basically they were teaching us how we could basically keep our voices in a more artistic way, I would say, which I think is really, really creative, I would say.
I honestly think, as also the fact that I'm an author as well, I've written 2 books. I really do think that the use of storytelling, especially in the context of fiction, is a very powerful way to kind of make people think about topics that they don't normally think about. I think that it's a great way to introduce people to ideas on how to make the world better. So why do you think that using short stories, okay, let me rephrase that. Why do you think that the form of storytelling in short stories is impactful for complex issues like climate change?
So I've been influenced by Da Vinci's Science of Art and Art of Science. And I'm really grateful for our 2 professors, Dr. Ekatrin Kildiashvili and Dr. Saif Rustam. So they basically introduced me to this interdisciplinary, and I've been taken away by this, and I've been trying to incorporate this throughout my years in TMA, because I think, as you mentioned, storytelling is the heart of communication. People would feel only they want to protect something or they want to take action for something only if they feel emotionally connected to it. So I think storytelling does that.
Yeah, I completely agree. So your story carries very deep symbolism. So can you take us through some of the hidden meanings that there are in your story? Because I noticed when I read it, there were quite a lot, and I really liked it. So tell us about that.
Thank you. So, it's inspired by Stranger Things, and I think most of us have seen Stranger Things, and I'm really glad that the last installment is coming this year. So, you know how they have this upside down world, and similarly, I wanted to showcase a present and a future world, future which is basically destroyed by climate change. So, in my story, as you see, there is this red door, which is a tipping point. So once you go there, there's no coming back. And then I've tried to use color psychology, where the white and the blue, it shows like a serene and a very calm environment, whereas the red we know is usually used for danger. So previously, as you see in the beginning of the story, it's more like winds and like soft sand and the girl dressed in white and dolphins and doves. All of this creates a present which is calm and peaceful. But as soon as you open that red door, once you go there, there's no coming back, and it turns basically red. With the color changes to red, now there are fires, heat waves, dragons, and we all know how dreadful it was, the LA fires this year. So all of this basically depicts climate change and the consequences which we are facing right now. And as you see at the end, there is this long hand with red nails and it's piercing the heart. It shows that it's not basically some external factor which is causing all of this. It's ourselves, it's human greed which is causing all of this. And it's something which is showing an urgency to action. So,
and I think that something to kind of compare between your story and also Stranger Things is at the end of the season that we just had, you see this part where Eleven is in the fields, and you can see how, I don't really want to spoil it, but how the destruction being caused by the upside down blending with the real world is causing the field that she's in to slowly, the plants in it are slowly dying, and she picks up the flower and sees the destruction and everything. And I think that your story also really captures that element of once the destruction starts, there's no real stopping it, and you can see just how much it destroys and know that, okay, there's no getting that back. So I really, really love your story. I love how it's got such strong symbolism in it and how it's able to really capture the effect of climate change. So for anyone who wants to read Rishu's story, there will be a link attached to this podcast and you'll be able to read it there. Let's move on to extracurriculars. So we both know as medical students that medical school is intense. We have classes every day, midterms, finals, quizzes. So how do you manage to be involved in so much extracurricular activities outside of all of that?
Yeah, so for me, basically, it's all passion driven, and I look at these extracurriculars as something to relax, learn, grow. So it was curiosity which actually got me going into the medical school. And when I try to explore all of these interdisciplinaries, it kind of keeps the curiosity alive. So it just makes it like I want to make my medical journey more fun and relaxing so that I don't get bored easily and I don't get the burnout. And also I would like to thank my family. So they are always there for me. So they are my own personal therapist. So whenever I feel a little bit down or when I have a lot of pressure, I kind of talk to them because they're basically my inspiration. So yeah, I'm really thankful to them.
That's lovely. I also, agree that when you're going through medicine, I think it's honestly very important for us to kind of find different ways to express ourselves, not just through the work that we do in classes, but also outside of classes. In the past a couple of years, I've also been trying really hard to kind of branch out and take every opportunity that I see in front of me. I was the head of operations in the student academy for a year, and I really loved having the experience of being able to help people more, because normally I'm the kind of person, I love helping people. So to be able to kind of take a role like that and then be able to help people on a much larger scale, being able to listen to people's voices, hearing what they're interested in, and then bringing that to life, I think that was like, it was a really special thing for me. And even now I'm still trying my best to make sure that there are opportunities that everybody is interested in. And I think being able to do that while studying the medical career, it's perfect to, make sure that there's a balance for us in life as we go through medicine, but also allow that once we finish, we have more than just a degree. We're able to say, we achieved this and we achieved that, and to make us feel more kind of acclaimed as doctors. We heard that you recently won a social and cultural grant project, and you're in the process of making a short educational film. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us more about that.
So basically, throughout my years in TMA, I found my passion for cardiovascular health, and I actually want to pursue my future in the same. And we also have my own very club, Guardians of the Heart Squad in TMA. So when this opportunity came, social and cultural grant project, and I'm really grateful to TMA because they always give us students these kind of opportunities, which is amazing. And it's also a great way to advocate. And it's very crucial as healthcare professionals and medical students to advocate about the topic and raise awareness. So when it came, this opportunity came, and I had this, great opportunity to kind of combine all these interdisciplinaries, which I love, cardiovascular health, planetary health, medicine and art. I was like, why not? So basically this educational film titled Whispers of Danger, exploring the effects of decibels on heartbeats. I think it says in the title itself, it's basically exploring the effects of noise pollution on cardiovascular health. Now, this is not something which is more spoken about. It's a silent threat. We know that in non-communicable diseases, cardiovascular disease is #1 cause of death. And what we don't know is actually noise pollution after air pollution is the second most environmental risk factor as well. So it's really great that we have this opportunity to showcase everyone about this silent threat. And we're very excited. It's going to come out on this World Heart Day on September 29. And yeah, I encourage everyone to watch it.
So honestly, that sounds really exciting. I think we'll be looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. So before we wrap up, is there any final message that you would like to give?
So I think that healing Earth, healing the planet, and the healing humans, they go hand in hand, and we must try to protect them both.
Our guest today has shown us that it's possible for us to be able to kind of have our lives in both places. In the creative side, being able to express ourselves, our personalities, and also being able to, be a medical student and go through the process of learning how to be a doctor and a good doctor. So thank you so much for speaking today, and thank you to everybody for listening. And I hope you have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.